caffeine. Tell me, do I look smarter? Hello, and welcome back to Gainzzz. So I slept terribly this past week, despite the fact that sleep tip number 2 actually made a lot of sense and should have done a lot of good. I mean, it was terrible. I woke up once every single night at least, and I was just wired and could not go back to sleep for a really long time. As a quick reminder, last week's focus was on creating an environment that was more conducive to sleep. So this involved decluttering our space to remove any stressful, chaotic kind of nonsense going on, making our room dark enough, and adjusting our sound settings. I'm not reading notes. It probably didn't work for me because I've been under a lot of stress lately, and well, stress keeps you up at night. This tip did, however, work very well for my test subjects. So I heard back from 5 of them, and 3 of them told me that this tip helped them out a lot and made a dramatic improvement in their quality of sleep. One person said that they already do this, but they absolutely need it in order to sleep well at night. And the other person said that this one worked a little bit for them. So, all in all, it seemed like this tip is far more likely to be effective and improve the quality of your sleep than it is to not. Okay, moving on to sleep tip number 3. So this week we are going to adjust our consumption. So y'all are gonna hate this one, and I'm definitely gonna hate this one for sure myself, because this week's sleep tip is to not eat anything any later than 2 hours before your bedtime. No snacks, no juice, no nothing, except for maybe a little water. Reason being that you need to give your digestive tract enough time to process all of the nutrients that you put in, and so you don't have any lingering elevations in your blood sugar keeping you feeling energized when you're supposed to be trying to fall asleep. And that's not even the hardest part of this week's sleep tip. That's right, there's another part to this, and that other part involves not consuming any caffeine after a certain point during the day. Now, as for this certain point, I have a debate with this. A lot of articles like to suggest not having any caffeine after noon, and I think that is just way too early to quit. So I did some very brief, lazy Googling on the subject and found out that caffeine has an expected half-life of about 4 to 6 hours. So after 4 to 6 hours have passed from the time of caffeine ingestion, obviously it is still in the body, and pretty prominently so. But at this point in time, you usually aren't feeling the effects as much because it's only about half as potent as it was when you first drank it. That being said, you still want to account for some extra time after the maximum 6-hour half-life to make sure that you get enough caffeine out of your system that it's not going to significantly impact your sleep. And with all of that scientific jargon, that's just basically leading to me saying that the cutoff time for caffeine for this week's sleep tip is going to be 2 o'clock instead of noon. That's the way I want to do things because I need my caffeine, so just roll with it. Whew, I've said a lot of stuff. So let's recap. So remember, the focus of this week's sleep tip is on consumption and changing our patterns around that. So, first part, no food any later than 2 hours before your bedtime. Second part, no caffeine after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Anyway, I'm tired of filming this video and I'm kind of hungry and want to go eat dinner, so good luck with this week's sleep tip. Thank you for visiting my citrusy sanctuary. Peace out.